Good morning, good afternoon. I have no idea. It's been a day. We are, this is a very, I was just going to do it and I decided to film it thing. We are going out in the garden and we are going to identify some vegetables and fruits that we want, whatever. Things in the garden that we want to keep the seeds from. I'm going to identify them with these little tags. I've already gotten a couple just due to them being ripe already. So let's go do that. I'm Suze, by the way, if I didn't already say that. Welcome to my homestead. So as I'm looking through my garden, I'm making note of size of the plant. If I only have one, that's obviously a no-brainer. But when I have several, in the case of these jalapeno plants, or these not hot jalapeno plants, I'm going to pick the nicest looking plant and then pick the nicest looking fruit off of it. So in this case, I like this plant on the very end. This is where my squash was that you saw all dangly in the green bean video. Anyway, I want this plant and I want this pepper back here. So I'm just going to tie a ribbon on it. As you can see there, I just tied it really loosely so not to impede growth, but for it to stand out to me while I'm looking. So I already have my Midnight Snacker seeds and my Roma seeds saved from the first fruit. The Midnight Snacker, the funny thing is the first one was the biggest one, which worked out really nicely for seed saving. I've also picked my Black Crim, which I told you about in the garden tour. And the bigger of the two of those is the one I'm going to save the seeds from. So in this bed, all of these green beans are for seed, because that's what I decided to do with them when I planted them. As for, ooh, that's a really wilty straw flower back there. Anyway, as for everything else in this bed, I know I have like 700 pepperoncini seeds inside. And these bell peppers haven't done the best for me, so I'm not going to save any seeds from those. I'm going to try a different variety next year, if any at all. So I've already identified this tomato. Ooh, we can't see. There we go. This tomato back here, this is the Heinz variety. This is the one I've been watching since it came on. Go away, leaf. Anyway, so I'm just going to tie a ribbon on that whole stem because it's an entire cluster back here. There we go. It's an entire cluster and it's beautiful, and I want that specific one for seeds. So there's the tag. And something about these specific tomatoes. Oh, the pretty coneflowers right behind me. These are Heinz variety. They are all started from saved seeds from last year, and that tomato that I really want is already double the size of any of the ones I got last year, so I am thrilled. So this is the one that I want for the Sugar Rush Peach. These are once again from Home Save Seeds, and this pod is massive compared to the ones I got last year, and the plants are huge, and just filled and still putting on flowers. But this is the first one that came on and it's massive and beautiful. So I just put it on the branch really loosely because the stem is just so delicate. For the jalapenos, I wanted this one a long time ago, so I put a clip on there, and I'm wondering if that's why it looks like it's dying. But this is the biggest one we have. Oh, I just broke a branch. It's huge and it's amazing. So that, yeah. For the banana peppers, I want that pod right there. I might have to keep watching. Oh, that one's nice too. I'm gonna have to keep watching to see which ones go red versus yellow, so that I can get a red one and a yellow one. But right now I want that one for saving seeds. So we have 3 varieties left to do today. The rest aren't quite to the point of being able to identify the ones I want. They're too small or they're too underripe. So we have the shishitos, which I've been using interchangeably with green peppers, where I would use a green pepper. I've just been using a really big shishito. They've been fantastic, and there's tons of them. So I'm thinking of growing a lot of these next year rather than green peppers as well. But we'll see. We have to do the Ajay Crystal and the Mad Hatter peppers right now. So there's the shishito pepper I picked. It is the biggest plant. And this is the 2nd or 3rd wave of peppers, so it's been in my garden for a good long time. This is the Ajay Crystal one I picked. It just got a lot of corking, so I think it's going to be hot. And there is the Mad Hatter I picked. It is the largest on the plant, and I only have one of these plants right now. My neighbor came home and I needed to get in the shade, so I changed locations completely to the backyard. So even though I have picked those specific peppers and tomatoes, things might change due to blossom end rot. They might not ripen properly. Maybe there's a better one that's coming. I don't know, but for right now, these are the ones that I am favoriting. We still need to do the, what are they? The cherry tomatoes, the Ajay peach, the Ajay lemon. There's a couple other peppers that just aren't quite big enough yet. So you might ask why I am trying to identify my favorites to save the seeds. It's because when you're saving seeds, your pods or your fruits or your vegetables or whatever that you are saving, flowers that you are saving seeds from, need to be ripe or they're not going to germinate. So for things like the shishito peppers, I've been using them green. Things like bell peppers and jalapenos are often used green and then turn to red, yellow, orange, fill in the blank here color when they're ripe. So if I'm easily able to identify which one it is, it means I'm not cutting it down and forgetting that I wanted to save that specific one. Or when I do take it off the plant when it's ripe, in the case of a tomato, I remember that it was this one that I wanted to use for seeds because it was big and beautiful, and it all just makes sense to me. Maybe it will for you too. I don't know. But this is all. I am so happy. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.